Didn't say, here we are, we coming. What a wonderful way to begin this program. Today, this is the Deep National Hour program. Deep is the Democracy and Empowerment for Economic Progress. Deep is a civil rights nationalistic organization propagating the true sense of nationalism and the call to national duties. Once again, I'm Dr. Ibrahim Dassamasu the first. I'm the executive director of the Democracy and Empowerment for Economic Progress. As a nationalist, I have one major responsibility, and is to ensure that my country works, is to ensure that the nationalistic obligation of citizens are being made known, and government officials should be able to perform their duties in line with our constitution. We're going to be looking at nationalism in the context of having a progressive nation and those responsibilities of citizens in this country. This country, as is being known or is known, Liberia has a population close to 5 million. And one thing that is lacking within our country that is known to all persons is citizens are not being taught what it means to be a Liberian. What are the responsibility of you being a citizen of this country? How can you help make this country survive as an independent, responsible nation? Unfortunately, if we see how this country is being conducted, you will get to understand that Liberia is not actually existing like one of those civilized societies. Instead, our country is just existing, emulating steps that our leaders and the citizens feel that are appropriate to them, not in the context of being competitive, not in the context of trying to industrialize this country, not in the context of trying to improve the lives of its citizens. Because if we intend to have a nation that should succeed, we want a nation that should be among the community of nations as a competitive country that contributes to the well-being of humanity, meaning that every unit of our society should be able to make contribution to the global society. Every society must be able to contribute to the global economy, to the global well-being, to the United Nations. But unfortunately, there are countries that are completely in a disgraceful position, which Liberia is part of, most especially situated among the 5 poorest. Instead of this country with the abundance of resources like diamond, gold, ore, and oil and other things that are found in our country, instead it be used to transform the lives of the citizens, you see that even officials of government have not even understand why should you have these kind of precious stones or resources in your country and how it can help to improve the life of its citizens. That where the issue of nationalism comes in. Okay. The issue of nationalism comes in. Every time we talk about nationalism, we are talking about connecting an individual to a sovereignty that he or she is a legitimate part of the ownership. Every person that is called a Liberian by such connection should be schooled, educated to the extent that he or she understands what it means to be a citizen of a nation. What are your obligations to that nation? How can you ensure that that nation does not retrogress but progress? How do you contribute to ensure that there is good governance? How do you ensure that few dangerous elements in the society, because every society must have bad people. But the bulk of the society will have good people. But the reason why you will see bad people always, benefit from society that are weak is because the good people are afraid to do what is good, and the bad people are prepared to do what is bad. What am I saying? When good people understand that one of your responsibility as a good person is to ensure that goodness exists within the society, laws are adhered to, people do the right things, things then like what we call by Socrates, we talk about realism. Okay, you talk about well, still people are being taught how to think well, behave well, and contribute to the society in a better form. And it means that good people are ensuring that good things happen. But instead of it, in any illiterate society, which Liberia is part based on statistics that you have 52.4%, and you have less than 25% of your society that are in the educated environment. So it tells you that in an illiterate society, what it is true that there are many good people, but because they are afraid of ensuring that the good nature exists in the society, few evil individuals will keep good people in the shelf in their homes as cowards, where these few evil people dominate the society. How can we put it in the classic form? Take for an example. A president is an individual that governs the entire country of millions of people. The legislators are few individuals that govern the entire country. The same way the court, few individuals, less than 1%, you don't normally find things then like our entire government to be like 1%, but they're always less than 1%. The president, the single person, is just less than 1%, very, very less than 0.005% of the society, because it's just an individual. So he less than 1. So you say 0.00001 percent of the society as an individual person. In a civilized society, a good society will not permit one person to be able to rule that nation. They won't permit one person to allow the country laws to be circumvented. They won't allow one person to breach the law and to sit down and do nothing because it be irresponsible as a citizen. They will not sit down to tolerate few individuals that may be only the control auspices of the president. They may be called in whatever faction, police, army, to be able to control the entire country of millions of people and do what is wrong, or those things that are wrong. There were a strong spirit of national obligation and national duty come in every civilized society. That's the reason why any country that should be developed, the government tries to train its citizens to be nationalistic, patriotic, picking up the duties of your nation to ensure that every citizen is prepared to fight for the good of the country. You can follow us up on Deep National, our Facebook page. That is DEEP National, our Facebook page. We will highly appreciate for you to just join this movement, just subscribe, so that we can be able to have an exchange of ideas and see how we can work together to transform this country. So I'll highly appreciate if you can invite someone to listen to this show every Friday by 5 p.m. and every Saturday by 9 p.m. That's the Deep National Hours on the Facebook page, Deep National Hour Facebook page. So we appreciate we'll just take a shot musical stuff to make a little adjustment, and then we will be right back. I know, so you can be able to follow us up on Deep National, our Facebook. Connect. To connect. No, my Facebook face. Okay, so get up, stand up to your nationalistic responsibility. Again, I'm Dr. Ibrahim Dassamasu the first. I'm the executive director of the Democratic Empowerment for Economic Progress. Again, as I said, this country have not already started to exist as a country that want to be competitive or be part of the Community of Nations to contribute meaningfully to the world. We are just like existing and begging the world to help us always. And the world has nothing to gain from us besides some of those guys who want to come and exploit the resources of this country. But to say that we have something to contribute to the global stage and be of an assistance to other countries, which is a fundamental responsibility of humanity, we are not part of that. But we enjoy other people civilization that help bring up food and other things, to our country. So it means that we have no civilization to give out there. We are not existing as a civilized society because civilized society is now a begging society. So if we keep begging and keep being dependent, it means that we undermine the sovereignty of our nation. And if we should build our country, it means that we should exist as a nation. And as a nation, one of the fundamental pillars, even that was quoted by mentioned by Kofi Annan, the former Secretary General, education. In the absence of education, quality education, not education from the Western world and all about what the Westerners think. No, it's not. That's not the actual rationale of education. Education has three major components, and one is to rejuvenate your culture, your practices, your lifestyle. You know the essence of your existence as a nation. What do you learn about yourself? What behavior pattern have we adapted? Are we learning? What are we doing to show that we are a nation that someone can trust, that someone can believe, that people can learn from? Okay, what are we doing? Looking at every society is based on 5 units. Most of you who did management and sociology, you should be schooling that. But in our conversation, we have 5 major units of every society. And the first unit is the family. What moral value have we taught our students, our citizens? That each family within our territorial borders, we work on, we believe, we uphold, we protect to the best of our ability. Do we have a Liberianized behavior, a sociology of Liberia or Liberia behavior? Do we have a Liberian psychology? Do we have something that we study about ourselves? As long as we are existing and cannot study about ourselves and know how are we living and who we actually are, And not what people have written about us. Do we have an institution in this country writing about Liberian behavior and practices? Like you doing education, that institution writes about various schools, government schools, Christian-based institution, Muslim, whatever thing, your faith-based institution, the economy, so that those who are doing education can learn about the various types of schools we have here, from contemporary, contextualized education. Do we have it here? No. It means this is an illiterate society. Do we have institution here that is solving the administration in Liberia, the management system in Liberia, understanding public administration, understanding management in the private sector and the public sector, so that students that are reading management and public administration can learn contemporary lessons from our own country to understand what practices are more appropriate to the Liberian society in the management era. Are we studying the banks? Are we studying the shops and stores? What lessons are we learning from them that our students at university can learn, so that by the time they enter these banks and enter these corporations, they have already understand the contextualization of the working environment, what it means when you're applying the accountancy in the accounting environment in Liberia, what it means when you're applying those theories in management, okay, your planning and organization and all those different theories you're gonna be actualizing at your workplace. What are the practical lessons have they understood? What are the very systems that are very unique to Liberia, that you can say that this conceptual skill or technical skill or human relation skills are unique to Liberia, but you need to modify it when you enter this other terrain or other terrain because of the psychology of the people who live there. Are we reading it? No, because the country is a illiterate society. You think when you look fine and go to university and other things, it makes you like you're even educated class and educated society. No, rate yourself with others. When you see that, when you're looking for 400 universities in Africa, where you were one of those who created the fifth and sixth older universities, and no university in Liberia is a part of the class university in Africa. You talk about 54 countries or whatever thing. Okay, it tells you that you are far below the belt. You know what it means? You say you can play, then they're looking for the top 200 players, your name is not there. The top 300 players, your name is not there. The top 400 players, your name is not there. It means that your play is there for the backyard. That's the reason we're talking about the competitive nature of a society. The competitive nature. As long as we cannot read about ourselves, we cannot learn about ourselves, it means that we are actually an illiterate society, and based on us looking at the UNESCO report, UNIRANK reports, and all those and the EPAD reports and other things, we start looking at all the other reports. In the actualization, the way we conduct ourselves shows that indeed we are an illiterate society because we don't read about ourselves. We don't read. Do we have a standard? If we do have a standard in the educational society that before you can complete an associate degree or bachelor degree, these authors, these books, you must have read, completed it. We have attached at least 1 or 2 books to each course. And every student who passes through university learning must know these books and authors and their views. Because we are not to give somebody an opinion, we are to give people opinions, and then they will be able to analyze and take which one is more applicable to that society or that life experiences. But if you are running colleges and universities on pamphlets and internet opinions, then you think that your university is accredited among top universities that don't do those kind of practices? It means that you are an educated society. Now, why do we need to learn these things? Because you are kept crying that your country is bad, your country is going nowhere, Look at other countries then that came in the 60s and 70s or 50s, whatever. They're far above us. You got to be able to go to the actual logical foundation. You got to go down the ladder and understand what are they doing that carrying them forward, and you are not doing that bringing you backward. You see, if you want to have a complicated society, you want a society that will make progress, empower the minds. It's not about empowering in accounting, management. No. Those are all complementary things that are good for the society. But you empower them what it means to be citizens. The duties and responsibility of citizens. Then those citizens will understand that no single person or political party has dominion over them. That everybody is subject to the Constitution and everybody is subject to the country. Nobody will try to interpret the Constitution in favor of a group of individuals only because you have some alignment with that group. You have a society that everything looks stupid, everything looks sensible. So even if you take the stupidest thing and put it in a labyrinth society, they will not be able to determine that it is stupidity. They will try to make sense out of stupidity and think that they are wise. Because the society have not set the standards to know what the senses you learn to be able to think in an appropriate way, a manner. Look, why we always say you must read more books? Because you must have more opinion. You must have more ideas. You should see how the world sees things. The more books you read, the more you become exposed, you understand a lot of things. But even newspapers don't make money in this country except they run behind ads. If newspapers were making money, you wouldn't be selling newspaper $40 and I could not educate somebody selling $40, $50 because you don't have a reading society. If you have a society that have the quest, want to know, want to find out, have strong curiosity, always want to know things, always want to get a deeper insight of things. You have a strong society, and some people who have become leaders will never ever be a leader for you because you will be drawing your actions based on too many important information. You know, to tell you that the society is not learning, the society will complain about one thing more than 5, 10 years, 20 years, and unable to do anything to correct it. Is that a sensible society or a foolish society? You can determine, you know that. Because we say, as a nationalist, you should develop the spirit to ensure that the good of the society take dominance. How can you laugh for more than 20, 30 years that people are graduating from high school and colleges and can't read? And the whole country is unable to solve a simple problem of that nature. Simple thing like that. It means that the society is an illiterate society. The reason why you know problems is to take action to correct them. But everybody sits in that closet and think about how can you be more successful as an individual than thinking about how can you be more successful as a nation. When you think about how you can be successful as a nation, you have more millionaires. If you think about how to be successful as an individual, you have people running around with hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. If people can understand that the more you bring collective attitude together, you will bring strong, you bring revolution, you bring change, you improve your economy. And take for example, if you put about 20, you put your 13,000 together, you know how much you get. But if you If you're 20 and you want to do your individual business with your $10,000, you know it will take you very, very, very long time to go out there. Very, very long time. So it tells you that in order there is strength in unity, in order to succeed, in order to have a strong, vibrant society, you need more than individuals seated and thinking about themselves. When will we try to read about ourselves, learn about ourselves, and try to take the appropriate corrective measures so that you can change the problems in your society? One of the responsibilities of a nationalist is to ensure that the laws are adhered to. Do you see it in Liberia? No. Any law and every law is at race in this country. Any law, every law is at race. If the law says, I'm a nationalist, I love to fight for jobs for Liberians. I love to fight for jobs for Liberians, contracts and businesses for Liberians. That's what we stand for. If your constitution tells you or your law tells you that you should not give no job to non-Liberian until there is proven that there exists no qualified and available Liberian to serve that particular job, why will you want to come and bring your opinion and justification into that? And you want your society to be respected by others? If the white man tells you to go for interview by 8 o'clock, you'll be there maybe by 6. Because you know that he will disqualify you if you go there minutes after 8. Because why? Rules are rules, laws are laws that are made to be adhered to. You should abide by them. But when you place that same condition and you remove that white man from there and you put a Liberian man in that particular position and call somebody for interview, it's the time that he doesn't have a car, the traffic, the transportation, things were hard. My man got saying, my child got saying, that reason why I'm coming after 9. And when you permit that situation, it means that you have broken, you may think that it's an individual, but you have broken an entire system. Because any action that is good for one should be good for all. So if it's wrong for another, it should be wrong for all. That's the reason why in developed countries, they are very, very careful with laws. Because laws determine the conduct of our behavior. Being sympathetic and you try to rationalize why you should break a law is being stupid. Because it have a greater impact on the society. What are you training the younger generation, the current generation, the older? What are you training them when a law that should not be breached is being breached? And the person who does it walk with impunity. What are you teaching? The lesson is laws are only there to have a law, but you can do just what you want to do. So today it's so common in Liberia that people say law my fault. A society. And you think that society is a serious society or a civilized society? No, statistics prove that you are not. The question is, what are you doing to correct it? When will this country be trained to understand that when it says system, it means that something that you should not pass around. You can circumvent. If it says that by 8, the door should be closed, whoever by 8, let the door be closed. What are you doing? You are teaching the society to respect and obey instructions, obey laws. Everything that you do in your society serves as a precedent, and it's a learning curve for those who see it and see it as an acceptable way of life. That's the reason why in educated society, there are constant debates. Academicians are always meeting, Politicians are always meeting and discussing with scientists, academicians, and people from different fields. They are discussing how to improve behavior. But you don't even have any conference in your country talking about how to improve behavior, how to work on your behavior, and bringing up books and what the thing is, journals and articles, and trying to institutionalize it by ensuring that the citizens are taught. Look, until we get a true nationalist, a radical, educated nationalist to change this country, we have far many years to go in this particular nonsense. We are not yet set as a nation. We are not yet. We should be asking the questions and finding the answers. The why, the where, the when, the how. We should be asking all those questions. Why are we like this? When they started, how can we improve it? Those kind of questions we debated. Academicians are called. But have you ever seen, if this country is a civilized society, have you ever had a situation maybe at the horse and the horse call our professionals in the fields and academicians to come in and give them expertise and expert opinion on the kind of things they expect coaching? Do you see in this country? Do you see it? You don't see it? The first thing, professional buyers are always like in the water state, the cows, they always keep you in that shell. You don't see it. In an educated society, you see when major things come out, the people call on, this guy is good at education. Everyone is good at sociology. You guys good at public administration. You guys good at the legal area. They call them and they have a forum and you advise them and they give you project. Go implement this project because we want to improve this and that. The people want to know more. They're interested in the fellow of sociology. But we don't do it. We just talk and just moving around, do other things. We're not doing anything to correct anything. Every time you set and you permit one or two individuals to perpetuate evil and the entire society permits it, it brings the society to a primitive state. It means you don't have good people in the land. We don't have repression here. You think, let me just come more. You think most of the breaking of laws, lies that our politicians happily, freely carry out in this country, if this was a civilized country, it's not possible. Baka has proven to be an autocrat. Some may say he's a partial tyrant. He's breaking every law. He tried to make sense out of it. Not trained to prevent wrongs from taking place. You think if you have an educated society, a nationalistic society, and the Supreme Court come and give a ruling that is ambiguous, using legal ambiguity in a very critical matter, you think the society will sit down? The society will pressurize the Supreme Court to bring clarity and don't confuse the society. The society will not permit it one bit because they understand that evil should never take precedence in a civilized society. And people sit there and say they know what is good and permit it. They will go to get, look, people will go and say, look, we want to know, that is the fellow. We want to know what is the legal position here. How can the law interpret this? What can the law tell us? Professionals and others will go to know. So because you should go to, it's not your personal opinion, no. You should go to the appropriate authority to get the appropriate position. Then whatever that character is being made, it goes down into history for others to read and learn. So that if there's a possible potential for the reoccurrence, you can be able to learn from the past because you read it in books. But our politics is just for the mouth and the hearing. That's all. It's just for the mouth and the hearing. Then in the nearer future, Maybe if there's something that happens there, a lawyer will pick it up to use it. That is not how civilized society works. We should be having rulings in various books, and people in those areas should be learning them. I did diplomatic study. I did international law, and everything I read was just about international. Where's Liberia in it? Nowhere. Nowhere. So you won't tell me, for the long existence of this country ain't able to bring out authors that the country can accept, that when you want to learn economics, these Liberian authors have the requisite expertise, and a book should be used. You want to say up to now this country ain't able to reach that level? So Bobo Kanu's in this country? All those guys that say that know the history and public administration and sociology and nursing and have no, you want them to say they're able to produce books? Government able to subsidize those things to make sure that we have information concerning ourselves on how we do things here? That those books be used in our universities and colleges? It's a shame on the entire country and everybody who bears a credential. It's a shame. You have a borrow idea, borrow credential, borrow degree. Anything you read is a borrow idea. 176, you are stay at the receiving end. It's a shame. Because even in the media environment, we have radio station after radio station and media executive after media executive. Are the top class books and we have around here, and we get a lot of smart guys. But it's just for the talking and the hearing, that's all. Just for the talking and the hearing. That's all. Lesson learned, come on, leave that one up. Those who will come 5, 10 years after to read, come on, leave that particular thing. Why are we still reading about Dr. Sigmund Freud for many years? Look how practicing where Aristotle, Simon. Why are we reading about those guys there now? It's because their work have been documented. And there are lessons we can learn from that. So you want them to say, no librarian have head, okay, learn lesson from? It's a shame. A shame on the entire country. That's the reason why ideas are vacillating around here. Ideas. If we were setting standards, you either have a renegade group of guys calling themselves majority group to just use all kind of fun way and get speaker when there exists a speaker. The society will not even tolerate that nonsense. The society won't. Because the society will not tolerate evil becoming the king of the day when you have so much good, but they are like keke dog with the tails in the behind. There's a common saying that when the educated become indifferent towards politics, fools jump into power. Fools will always jump into power in Liberia because the educated ones, the ones who know, they always sit in their corners. And allow few poor educated guys, smart talking guys, that use talking as a credential to get them up into power. And the disgraceful one is you will see somebody who have no academic credential will be talking plenty and trying to go into power. Then somebody who has credential will be running and celebrating that kind of president. It tells you how your society is terribly illiterate. You know, sometimes it's good to say the real thing so that we can stop some of the things we are doing and let this country get on the right footing. Pressing people when they are doing the wrong thing, always keep them doing messy things. And only a few people reap from such actions. If you want to be a progressive person, you look for somebody who has success in life. How do you select your leaders? Was Joe, we are successful administrators in executive, maybe managerial, executive, and other things to come and manage your country? No. He was a football player. Then you bring him into a top executive administrative office and put him there. Because you're not defined as a country. You're not. Joe Biden went take so many administrative positions and they were successful to go up there. Obama the same way. Donald Trump today, a multi-billionaire, successful, what's going all the way up there? Those are they in administration. So when you talk about putting somebody in a position, put somebody in the position that they have served in before for many years and were successful. You have a Vice President, Joe Barker, who told you he was very frank and said, I failed for the many years, even though he lasted about 42 years, working government for 42 years. But he lied. This is I didn't capable to know whether he lied or not, because anything gets on to them, they accept it. Even the one that get credential and the one who have to give is almost the same. So if you are a progressive person, you want to be successful, somebody say, I work all 2 of my days, and I even lied to you and they say I work for the 2 years. And I fail, and I'm unwilling. Make me your leader. The very first thing come to your mind and say, hey, you fail? I'll make you to leave me to fail? You will run in the opposite direction. But the country just a non-fun country. You go, you select president. Then the man who say I fail until I get old. Then you want him to make you so prosperous until you get old. Illusion. Fantasy. Fast and pray more. You will try. But they say train out a child, not an old person. You want. Who say you love football? You love football business. Who are those they can select as your coaches? Failures or highly successful coaches? You say you love men and Baka. Baka coach is one of the least coaches? Or a coach that failed? Madrid? Those didn't know. Set your standards. Set it. Look, let me say this. In as much as you refuse to standardize your nation, to ensure that what is wrong, no matter who does it. As a nationalist, you know that in terms of the issue legislative, all that you may say and rationalize, let me tell you, the state university, you take a non-library and give it, say all the things you can say. You are 52.4% illiterate. That's the action. Because that's an easy thing to just set up. In the absence, until we have no qualified librarian, no non-librarian can take that position, period. Just live with it. But your chief of staff became non-librarian, you live with it. The executive director for LACC became non-librarian, you live with it. Look, non-librarian, one day non-librarian will become chief justice, you will live with it. You will get justification and why it should be. One day a non-librarian will become senator pro tempore, you will live with it, you get the justification, because one evil will lead to another. It's just simple in the academic. One evil. The same way you justify, yeah, it's good for all the be there, you come with all the pedigree, use all the adjective you want to use it. You will use that same adjective yesterday when we had Chief Justice, not Chief Justice, but your chief of staff as non-librarian. You use something, you use that same thing when you have LCC boss to be a non-librarian. You use that same thing with other guys. Then keep using justification to be bending your laws. For the experiences someone have, you don't even have two minutes to even discuss that subject matter. You don't even have 2 minutes. But you see, non-librarian will take any position, and you're just sitting there talk about it, blah, 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 blah. But it good, the librarian put himself here, oh, etc. See, that's limitation. And the librarian put himself, so it's good again. Because you have not been taught to live as a nation. Most especially as a nation state. Those of you who in the academic, look at what we talk about nation state. Then you see why the Ghanaians will push you when you go in that country not to occupy certain position. Your next just telling you why they can put you, the Guineans, why they can put you not to serve in certain capacity in that country because they're not like you. They are not. Some of your brothers in America, you find problem with them day and night. Why they can't send for you and other things? Because America is not like Liberia. That you can see because you get so much money, you're trying to and somebody call your brother and family members to America. It doesn't work that way. Rules are rules, and rules must be followed. So if the American embassy have some maybe a 22-year-old girl or 24-year-old young man sitting there, the man only there to tell you yes when the rules say yes, and to tell you no when the rules say no. Finish. You're gonna hear it said they'll be calling all the big guns and big coats around. The rule says that you miss it, they should deny you. You miss it, that 24-year-old person will deny you. They say, now one labor will intervene people, you can deny people that rules are rules. Rules are not rules. Rules are for debates. So the president will dismiss anybody, and you care about the rest of the rules, you're bringing for argument. And as far as you can talk plenty, you are an intellectual in the context of Liberia. Not knowing that in the universal context, an intellectual is a credential holder with lots of experiences that speak to a given subject matter to improve society, not the one you do in your society. So if we should build our country, we should understand what we should be doing. What are other things that other countries are doing that making it to become so successful? You are still far below international required standards. My quest is for us to work together, to stop fooling ourselves and making others feel that we are supreme where we are not. Let us breathe. Let us listen more. Let us conduct more research. Let us get to understand. Let us ask questions from those who have expertise. Anybody can talk in Labrador. Anybody can listen to anybody. In other countries, the people want to see your ethos, your credibility, your credentials. What have come out of you all the period of time? People use academic standards. But even those who have a university don't even know academic standards in how do you evaluate things or how do you get position to things. They don't even know reliance. I mean, the citizen and they talk, blah, 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 blah. He has no connection to anything besides his opinion. Again, I'm Dr. Ibrahim Dasamansi, the first and nationally I'm the executive director of the Democracy Empowerment for Economic Progress, DEEP. DEEP is a civil rights nationalistic organization propagating the true sense of nationalism and the call to national duties. So we want Liberians to work together. You can follow us up on our page, that is the DEEP, Deep National Our page. DEEP will be happy if you can just subscribe, be a part of the thing, and share as many times as possible. We are also on the 2FN page. We'll be happy if you can just subscribe to the D page, share as many times as possible. We'll be on this platform every Thursday by 5 p.m. to provide our own nationalistic obligation, and we'll also be opening lines to accept your participation. And then we also on this platform on Saturdays at 9 p.m. To also continue our discussion. So with not much to waste, we will just take a short bath of a song, take a few calls, and then we call it a day. Okay, so our men back there have given us an opportunity to take few calls. So we will be taking few calls. the number to call and participate okay, so just place your call to 07770776615. That is 07770776615, and then we'll be able to take your participation on this platform. Again, it's 07770776615. So with this, we'll be um, closing with few words. If you want to participate in this particular discussion, we'll be coming to look at the liberalization and the labor law in our next edition to talk much more of the Liberian labor law, those things that concern us as nationalists, and those things that concern us as a nation in relation to what we have to do. So to place your call is 07770776615. Hello. 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 Yes, sir. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Moving forward, one of the things I really like about it is that many of them don't read. That's true. Many of them don't read books, good books.
Hello. Hello. Yeah.
What all you have said, business and understand that we Nigerians, we need to read so that we can be able to know what is going to be our constitution. So I value all what you have said. It makes a lot of sense to me. Taking my call.
Thank you. 07770776615. 07770776615. Okay, so we can call it a day from here. Um, we will take a call next time. Hello.
Good evening to you, Mr. Reverend Abbasio. I'm big friend with that, and I do join you from Chesero.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Thanks for the enumeration. One comment my attention is almost everything we do into books in this country is foreign materials. We are not attracted to our traditional heritage, getting connected to the modern era. In some of our Nigerian schools, everything they do is foreign materials, 90%. And our country, Nigeria, must move forward. Rule of law must be given priority. The law is the law, and let the law be the law. Because in the absence of rule of law, it's chaos.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much. We have given a few minutes to accept your calls. So we'll be here again on Friday, 5 p.m. and on Saturday, 9 p.m. Thank you. God bless you. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Ibrahim Dassaman the First. I'm the Executive Director nationally of the Democratic Empowerment for Economic Progress. God bless you. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Ibrahim Dassaman the First.